Hello everyone, I'm Rye, and welcome to Super Crate Box. Now, something you're going to notice about this Let's Play is that I'm not going to exactly be talking about what I'm reacting to on the screen. Because a funny thing happened. The first time I tried to use recording software to get what I needed from this game, all three programs crashed. The one I used to record voice, the one I used to record video, and the actual game itself. The second time I played it, I got, as you see, about 23 minutes worth of footage, and I thought everything was good, but for no reason that I could discern, it didn't record any voice whatsoever. So, instead, we're going to be doing a mix of things here. I'm going to be talking kind of about what you're seeing here, which, I mean, honestly, it's a super challenging game where you're going through, you're getting different boxes that unlock both the levels and new weapons. You got these spindly little bastards and floating skulls and these giant mumbo-jumbos rocking back and forth and screwing you over kind of like they did there. Now, originally I thought, you know what, I lost the footage, or I lost the audio. Maybe the best thing to do would just be, you know, play the level over again. I'm like, but I've already been through it. It'd be kind of disingenuous, and honestly, I was already annoyed beforehand. The second time I was fuming, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity to instead talk not only about this frickin' teeth-gritting, annoying pain in the ass of a challenging game, which is super simple to play and super hard to master. Because I'm a twitchy kind of gamer. Like, not a Twitch gamer, like twitchy in the sense that, like with Timberman, I'll screw myself over more times than one. I'm fighting me less than I'm fighting the game. And I panic. So, when the fast guys come along, I lose my mind. Anyway, apart from the wide assortment of weapons, basically you're unlocking new ones. Most of them don't have friendly fire, but one of them does. I think it's like a disc gun or something like that. So, throughout this Let's Play, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. Number one, I think it was back in Thoughts on Gaming. What was the last one? 27? 28? Something like that. The one where I mentioned Golden Sun. Pretty sure that was 27. Anyway, I mentioned there was going to be a bit of news coming down the line, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this for every single Let's Play, but title cards are something that I've been practicing. I can't make ones that are very good so far. As you can tell. I think the only ones we've had so far have been for Thoughts on Gaming and Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah. But, regardless of that fact, in the next month and a half or so, I'm going to start playing Stardew Valley, because I love me some Harvest Moon, and Stardew Valley is basically Harvest Moon. And I found somebody I know who is an incredibly talented artist, and man, you know, when I got the info in front of me, I'll put her link up, because good God, she is super talented and way too humble about it. So, I'm going to get her to do a title card for Stardew Valley, and you know what, if I can, I'm going to try to get her to do all the title cards. Like, one for each game. I'd like to do a different one for each episode, but I think, feasibly for now, at least to maintain a consistent, coherent kind of quality to them, far better than I can manage in Photoshop so far. That might be the way to go, because, fantastic artwork. Absolutely fantastic artwork. And I wish I had the freaking link in front of me. I had her business card, and I don't even know where my wallet is right now, so. And I just fell into a pit of fire, so you know what? We're failing on 2 levels here. Suffice to say, like, I mean, actually, if I can manage to keep an artist, especially like her, for Let's Plays, that'd be a lot of fun. Because, I mean, I gotta be honest, as pissed off as I can get playing a game like this, I'm sure you can tell, I do enjoy the process. There's the challenge of improvising lines, because you're reacting to what's on the screen, right? I mean, you've got to try to be as, I think, engaging and try to make it, like, entertaining, right? But at the same time, you want to be genuine, which is why, like, you know, when I'm getting pissed off, I'm not sugarcoating things. Like, no, I'm not just getting angry because I'm like, maybe people will, like, get a good chuckle if I get PO'd. Like, no, I'm actually pissed off. Like, playing Undertale, I was pissed off. I still am pissed off in some ways at that game. I'm certainly annoyed with this one, but it's not the kind where I'm just like, oh man, I hate this. It's just like, oh, I want to win and I'm not winning. I'm losing and that's pissing me off. So, you know, pressure makes diamonds, as they say. And turns out there's a lot of heat and rage before those diamonds come to bear. So, you get this. But there's the challenge of, like, trying to keep a conversation going with yourself to people who are watching, and then at the exact same time play the game. So you're multitasking, and you know what? I know some people who do it incredibly well. I don't just mean let's play, I mean multitasking. Like, not to say I can't walk and chew gum, but I mean, I just noticed that level was a phase 2. It's hard sometimes when it's a game like this that is so very reliant on your reflexes and timing to not only talk, but win. And it's funny because you don't even need that many crates to get through levels. If I'm remembering correctly, you really, just need 10. I mean, the more you can. I think it's a combination of kills and scores that can unlock new guns like that. And the disc gun is pretty awesome, although it can kill you. It can backfire. It bounces, but I mean, it's a boomerang. It'll come back and take your face off if you're not careful. So, that's something you gotta watch out for. But being able to remain entertaining while winning the game and not just looking as I do many times, like I just suck. See, like, keeping track of the enemies that are coming from 3 different angles while getting the crates, not dying, and talking. That can be pretty challenging. Where I feel bad when I do games like this is there are times where I will just focus so hard that I forget to talk, and there'll be periods of silence. And not to say that silence doesn't have its place. It does. I mean, sometimes that's just how it is, and sometimes, you know what? There's a good spot for silence, not only to take a breather, but, depending on the game, for a little bit of dramatic effect. And those dual pistols are grade A crap, I gotta say. If you ever play this game and you get the dual pistols, run to the nearest crate as quickly as you can because they are worthless hunks of garbage. Yeah, there we go. See, went for the machine gun. Way better than the dual pistols. I mean, akimbo's cool in a movie. In practice, not that effective or practical. But you gotta play the hand you're dealt sometimes, and when they're dropping down on you on high like oh so many evil pea pods of doom, well, sometimes you gotta use the dual pistols, and sometimes the skull will just drop on your head and murder you. And as you can see, a lot of the times in this game, my worst enemy is myself. It's a Speak of the devil and he will appear. I just cut myself in half with a disc. Like, it's a combination of me just panicking and not looking at all my avenues and not waiting. Because the funny thing about this game is, a lot of the times when enemies land on you, sometimes if you just stand still in an area like where they're dropping down, or in the floaty guy's case where they're about to hover down on you, standing still, they'll miss sometimes. Because they're following a pattern. It's all about the spacing and the timing. The rocket launcher is by far the best. I'd say, in terms of my favorite, it'd probably be a rocket launcher and then revolver. I mean, in pretty much any game, I got a soft spot for revolvers. Whether they're actually the best gun or not, I just like them. Something about that connection with the Wild West just... It's very romanticized, but I enjoy it. And the rocket launcher because the explosion doesn't hurt you for some reason, but you can create this blast radius, and anything that it touches is just dead instantly. If it was all about killing the enemies, I would stick with the rocket launcher. I probably wouldn't even bother with anything else. That might have been suicide on my part, just recognizing how screwed I was. But you have to collect crates. Unlock new characters, unlock weapons, unlock new levels. And funny enough, the layout of this level is, in my opinion, it really plays into the enemy's hand. Like, the last one, it was laid out in such a way that I could maneuver it pretty well and actually set myself up so that if I had to hold out in one spot, I could. This one's laid out in such a way that they can drop down on you at just the right angle from either side of the bottom, and you don't really have a whole lot of time if you try to stand close to the fire pit for them to not only drop down and turn around and you to kill them, unless you've got a rocket launcher, and even then, you've really got to time your shots, because I mean, it's very easy to screw yourself over. The red guys are the biggest pain in the ass. They just move like nothing else. Like, see right here. I don't know how long I held out from this angle, but you see what I mean? Like, they're coming in from two sides, and when you got a combination of green and red, their speed difference, it can really throw me off. Like, because I'm looking at it going, like, gotta worry about him. Oh crap, I gotta worry about him. He's moving faster, even if he's not the actual threat. I mean, part of the other problem might be that I'm on like my second or third cup of coffee today because, you know, I made one for myself, ran a few errands, and then a friend of mine, she bought me a cup of coffee, and I'm like, I'm not going to turn down a free cup of coffee. And then someone else got me a cup of coffee, and I'm just like, okay. So, pro tip, if you're ever trying to take me out, two best ways to do it. If you want to do it quick with food, keep buying me coffee because I'm not going to refuse. If you want to do it slowly over a prolonged period of time, do it with cheesecake. I'm probably never going to say no to cheesecake. I've yet to meet one that I don't like. I mean, can you kill someone quickly with cheesecake? How would that even work? I mean, over time, it would probably be something like heart issues or diabetes from all that sugar and junk, but how would you kill somebody quick with a cheesecake? I mean, I suppose they could choke on it if they ate too much. Can you eat too much food? Like, I mean, can you eat enough food that you actually reach a point where if you literally eat any more, you die? Is that a thing? You have to look that up later. I don't know if that's actually a thing. Can you eat until you die? Like, eat yourself to death? You must be able to, but I imagine that, like, before your, like, gut would explode, you'd vomit. All kinds of questions being raised. Super Crate Box, the game that makes you question life and the aspects of life. Really, it's really a game about all of us, you know, our constant quest for what's in the box. Is there something better in the next box? The grass is greener on the other side. I have to have the latest, greatest gadget, the latest, greatest gear, because, you know, the little skulls are symbolic of the responsibilities you have or the challenges you may face. Some are slow moving and plodding and easily maneuvered or taken down. Others are coming at you like a bat out of hell and you don't have a lot of time to think. And, of course, there are various pitfalls represented by the flame, and some of them are insurmountable giant skulls that seem so impossible you don't know how you're going to take them down. And some of them are unassuming little floaty guys that don't seem like a threat, but, you know, left unabated, they can be a real problem for you. I'm injecting a lot more depth into this game than it actually has, but you know what? Sometimes that's the beauty of it. I mean, sometimes you'll be watching a movie that is very basic, very simple, doesn't have a whole lot of depth that it's trying to convey, but you inject your own into it. You find meaning in something that perhaps the creator never had there to begin with. Same thing with books, and you know what? Same thing with games, because we are talking about a game, and I am playing a game. And, yeah, I can't tell if I blew myself up there if an enemy just hit it at the same time and it looked that way. Hey, the shitty dual pistols. Now we're back to a flamethrower. Alright, good. Keep going, little Tom Selleck wig wearing guy. I don't even know if I'm like a skull or just some little fleshy dude out to survive in this crazy world gone mad full of disembodied floating skulls and giant bull rushing skulls. There is some recoil on the guns, which is kind of cool. Like, the machine gun will push you back a little. The minigun will just launch you across the map if you're not careful. Actually, I don't think we've passed the point, but there is at least one point here where I got killed because I dropped down and the minigun literally just held me in place and one of those little skull guys dropped on my head. So it's a one-hit KO thing, so there's not a lot of room for error. Kind of makes me want to try out Nier Automata on the hardest difficulty because, you know, I do know that it's a one-hit kill there as well, and it's like, well, do tell. No room for error, you say. I think I just kind of accepted my fate there with the dual pistols. You'll notice a lot that when I get dual pistols, I kind of give up. If there's too many enemies on screen, I just let it happen, because I hate them. I have no sympathy in my heart for the akimbo pistols. I'd much rather have one good, strong gun than two that just fire milk duds. Takes far too long to kill things. Even the flamethrower's kind of iffy from time to time. Disc gun! I mean, you know what? It kind of reminds me of the, picking up buzzsaws and shooting them with the gravity gun in Half-Life 2. Although, I don't know if they bounced. Could they kill you? I don't think you could fire the discs in such a way that they would bounce back at yourself. You might have been able to do that with the machine gun that fired that laser orb. I don't recall. It's been a long time since I played Half-Life 2. I remember bits and pieces of the game. I remember throwing Chinese food in the faces of security guards and having fun with the gravity gun. Ha! In fact, no, for those of you who played Half-Life 2, and honestly, who the hell hasn't? One of my favorite things that I did was going through Ravenholm with a stool, and that was all I would use to kill everything. Tried to take it through the entire damn game, but I lost him in Ravenholm. Stooley was his name, and by God did he kill a lot of zombies. Can you imagine that if just you had a story where Earth was invaded by aliens that released some sort of mutagenic virus, and the survivors of this apocalypse were trying their best to rebuild a shattered world, and the protagonist of this story was a guy who used a stool. Like, for some reason, he just chose to use a stool as his weapon. Not like the aliens were weak against stools for any particular reason. That was just his own choice. And he was so good with it that he was kicking their ass, and they couldn't figure out why. Like, they're just, for some reason, this guy is too good with a stool. Put a gun in his hands? Useless. A sword? Useless. Alien technology? Forget about it. He can't even find the on button. But if we give him a stool, he can take out a mothership because he knows exactly where to hit with that thing in such a way. I might actually create that story. Maybe I should make a comic called the Adventures of Stooley. Should his name be Stooley? Nah, Stooley would be the name of his weapon. What would that even be called? Man with a Stool, Earth's Mightiest Defender. Why not, eh? Man with a Stool, Earth's Mightiest Defender. It's kind of a play on, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Hero, but, he's not a hero, he's a defender. I mean, is there really a difference there? I suppose you could be a hero to some and be a defender, but not be a hero per se, in the same way that, maybe a villain could be a defender and not be a hero. Now we're getting into the philosophical differences between heroes and villains, protagonists and antagonists, and from what point of view are you a hero and a villain? Because as they say, no one is the villain of their own story. As I can assume that these little Scully guys are not, they don't think they're doing anything evil, they're just running to their deaths because they've got a lemming mentality that compels them to chase the fire. Except for the White Skulls. They seem to have a brain about things. They're going for me. They're not looking to run headlong into the abyss. They are there for one reason only, and that is to tear me a new one. See, look at that. They're seeking me out. They're navigating the level. Other guys, they'll run right into that furnace with reckless abandon. Forgot I got a katana. It's freaking awesome. I don't know how well it works against the big guys. I've been too scared to take a swing at them with it because I figured they'd just shrug it off and step on me. Have to try that out the next time. Whoa! See, look at that. Even the disc doesn't kill him in one hit. It takes two. So, man. Oh! Do I make it through that red guy? I did! Woo! Maybe I did better than I thought. Nope, spoke too soon. Yeah, there I go. Oh, well. So this has been an interesting experiment. I'm definitely not going to make a habit of this. Because honestly, I much prefer doing a Let's Play that's in the moment. This is the first time I've ever done one where I've recorded the talking portion post-play. Because that's one of the advantages, like for all the difficulties I mentioned beforehand about doing a Let's Play of keeping the conversation going when you're essentially the only one there, which by the way, if you want to do Let's Plays and you're not sure how good you're going to be, see how you are by yourself. If you have trouble, grab a friend and do some multiplayer games because oh my god. I mean, like anything else, right? It's easier to have a conversation with another person than it is to have a conversation with yourself. It can be done. And like anything, like with any sort of skill you're trying to attain, or something like, say, exercise, weights, running. Practice, practice, practice. You keep doing it, and eventually you do get better. You may not be the best. You may not be someone who, I don't know, could use it to make a living, but you will get better. How good that is? Well, you gotta try to see exactly how far you can take it. My point being, if you're having trouble to begin with, bring another person on board, someone you can have a conversation with about anything. Like, way back, when I started doing this for funsies, I got Andrew in on this because he's a guy I can talk to about damn near anything. So playing a game with him and talking at the same time, super frickin' easy. Not to say that, the whole process is any less difficult than when I do it by myself, but when you have someone to soundboard off of, ideas will pop into your head. Like, you could be having a discussion about the dumbest thing you can think of. Like, we could be playing the hardest difficulty of Left 4 Dead 2, realism, which we did. And, you know, that's the kind of thing where the smallest mistake could be the end of the entire campaign. That could be it for you. You could be having a conversation about bunt cake in the middle of all that, and that seemingly stupid conversation could jumpstart something in your brain, and you say something that's super funny. Or it leads you into a conversation or an anecdote that gets your friend on the same page. You get to ping pong these sort of social cues back and forth, and you never know what's going to set off some sort of thought in the other guy's head. Or girl, you never know. Maybe you'd like to do a multiplayer Let's Play with your significant other, whomever they may be. I mean, going on past experience, I wouldn't recommend it. But you know what? Maybe you've got the kind of deep, interconnected relationship where you can play multiplayer games with each other and it doesn't get too schmoopsy. Is that a word? That's what I'm going to call it, schmoopsy. Or, you know, sometimes people just get awkward in front of the microphone. I mean, I can definitely say that if I compare the videos I've done now to the videos I did at the beginning, they've definitely gotten better in terms of, I'd say, presentation, how I talk, inflection, emotion, control, that kind of thing. Obviously, got to get a handle on the title cards. And playing around with new recording software because, I don't know if I ever mentioned it before, but the one that I use is OBS because it's free. And for those of you who are thinking about jumping in on Let's Plays, I'd recommend going with that one first just because it's pretty damn easy to set up. It's not all that complicated to figure out how it works. The hotkeys are awesome. Never really used it for streaming, but it's good for that too. And it's just a very easy stepping stone into using recording software. I am slowly learning Fraps, and then I'm going to be picking that up because I think that one's more versatile in terms of what it can handle. Although, depending on who you talk to, it can slow down your system, your computer system too. So, getting all the facts before I dump some money on that because if it comes down to it, and I can keep like pushing things with OBS for the next little while, I would be more than willing to take the money that I'm going to spend on Fraps, and I've got more than what I need to spend on Fraps, but I would be more than willing to use those funds to pay for some title card artwork if maybe I feel like Fraps isn't exactly where I need to go right now. And I mean, it's going to be a trial run. I'm looking forward to seeing how the title card for Stardew Valley turns out. Because, I mean, okay, the artwork's going to be good, but I mean, you know what? If I can work it out where it can be done consistently for each game, that would be so awesome. Because I see how other people do it. They have it in such a way where they're creating, like, you know, really awesome photoshopped title cards, like, pick any notable Let's Player and you know what I'm talking about. But the guy that I actually reached out to give me some pointers on how to start off was Sick Veins, which has he's got a great channel if you want to check that out. And we've come to the end of the video. So my name's Ryan, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a week.